Hi, OSHA 100, Corey speaking.
Corey, Theo, Fleury, and Kim Barthel.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for the phone call. What do you think of the PEI snow?
We used to play road hockey in this.
You're no stranger to Canadian winters, and so this is just, this is par for the course for PEI in January. But I will say, we have amazing golf courses. Have you played our golf courses?
I've played a few of them, yep.
Yeah, you're an avid golfer, and you've done a lot of charity work for Crohn's and colitis with your golf tournament. Let's first up talk about that, because you were diagnosed, right?
Yes. What was it, 1996, I think? Yeah. So, and it's been an interesting journey with that as well, too. So
let's talk about some of the different journeys. Our sports guy here, Dave Holland, wanted to know your biggest thrill. Was it winning the Stanley Cup with the Flames or winning Olympic gold?
How about both?
a tie.
Yeah, that's such a hard question to answer because it's a Stanley Cup takes 12 months to win. An Olympic gold medal takes 2 weeks. So there's lots of different things that happen and go on during that time. So but the one I think that people are sort of shocked that I say is one of my favorites is the World Junior. Okay. In 1988. We basically snuck into Russia and stole a gold medal away from the Russians, and we actually played in the same rink where Paul Henderson scored that goal in 1972. So it was pretty incredible experience.
Let's talk about the challenges and the battles that you've overcome with your career. Was it hard to keep going day after day with the different challenges that were coming your way? Because I read somewhere that at first it was unlikely that you might even play in the NHL because of your size.
Yes, and I often said, I wish I had $1 for every time somebody told me I was too small. But, obviously I think that you use that as motivation and, take something negative and turn it into a positive. And, I realized early on that, I was definitely talented enough, and it was just a matter of figuring out a way to, get room on the ice so that I could do the things that I did best.
You're a healing motivator. You've spoken to I don't even know what the number would be. Would you even have a guess of how many groups?
All I know is I'm on the road about 200 days a year now. So, and speak to all different kinds of groups, from elementary schools to junior high to high schools to charity organizations to corporate. The list goes on and on and on. Obviously, do an incredible amount of media, bringing forth sort of the subject of trauma and how to overcome obstacles and, how to surround yourself with good people that can, help you get through, the most difficult times in your life. It's really been amazing because, when I retired from hockey, I didn't really know what the rest of my life was going to look like. And I didn't really want to stay in the hockey world. I felt that I could accomplish more, helping people and writing Playing with Fire in 2009, really sort of set me on my path to, finding purpose and definitely know today what the rest of my life looks like. That's for sure.
Was it intimidating when you first started to co-write Playing with Fire?
No, I think that, during the writing process, obviously there was some difficult things that I wrote about, but, I think in general, I just wanted to tell the truth and let everybody know, sort of how my life went and maybe some of the reasons why, I behaved the way that I behaved, and just wanted to get it all out there. And little did I know that I was writing 13.5 million other Canadian stories while I was writing my own story.
Absolutely inspiring, incredible. And Kim, I want to bring you in because you partnered on the follow-up Conversations with a Rattlesnake. Tell us a little bit about the second book and working with Theo.
Well, Conversations with a Rattlesnake is an unusual and new kind of genre of book in that it's a conversation. It's like being a fly on a wall in a very personal, in-depth conversation on the process of healing. And what we intended to do with this book was invite readers into the conversation with us so that they would be able to reflect on their own lives. When we started writing the book, we were thinking about people who had experienced trauma in all forms, not specifically just abuse or sexual abuse. And what readers are telling us is that this book is for everyone.
Yeah.
And so, we are surprised and pleased with that kind of feedback.
I know there was a huge crowd last night over at Indigo for the book signing, and you continue to not only get the message out, but the healing process in a very easy to read way.
Well, thank you for saying so. And you asked me what it's like working with Theo Fleury.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I have to say about that is that I have absolutely zero interest in hockey. So to me, Theo is Theo. An amazing human being with tremendous willingness to do whatever it takes to heal. And, although it's a therapeutic conversation we have in the book, we are friends first, and it is an honor to be his friend.
Theo, it must be incredible to have that weight almost lifted to be able to share. I know a few years ago, we talked about mental health and mental health awareness. And I remember being in meetings where people were like, I don't know if we can talk about that on the radio. I don't know if that's going to resonate. And I've had more people come up and talk about their personal struggles on a variety of levels since that conversation started. So it must feel good for you to have that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we are finally coming to the realization that, trauma is the biggest epidemic on the planet, and sort of a remnant of a traumatic childhood experience is mental health issues, so anxiety, panic disorder, depression, all those things are, a direct result of childhood traumatic experience. And so I think we're really starting to connect the dots here. And speaking from my own experience, I went the medical psychiatric route and, was put on all different types of medication to help me sort of be able to regulate myself and level myself off. But at the end of the day, those things made my situation worse, not better, because everybody's brain chemistry is completely different. And so when you go down that path or you go down that road, it is a trial and error process. 9 times out of 10, you are not on the right medication to help regulate yourself. And so you become even more frustrated, you become even more angry, you become even more resentful because of the process. But what we are learning about the brain, almost on a daily basis, because so many people are doing different types of studies on the brain, that we are sort of narrowing down, these things that can help us to regulate ourselves. And, the best way that I found to regulate myself was through conversation. And, Bell Let's Talk is happening tomorrow. And really, that's what it's all about, is being able to find a safe person, such as Kim in my case, to be able to, have this conversation where I am self-reflecting the whole entire time and, learning about myself in order to figure out what my triggers are, what my issues are, so that when it comes time to regulate myself, I have a incredible understanding of what to do in each situation.
Well said. I'm going to post this interview, this conversation, this talk, with the recommendation to pick up the book, Conversations with a Rattlesnake, and also your first book, Playing with Fire. Theo and Kim, thank you so much for this time, for this very open conversation, and let the healing continue, and all the best. Thank you so much, and safe travels on your journey when you leave the island.
Thank you.
Try to get out of here as best we can. We got to find a snowplow to stick on the front of the car. So.
Thank you so much for this.